Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to Metal Gear Mondays. For those of you who are wondering what the premise of Metal Gear Mondays is, we're going to be doing a side-by-side project. On the channel, I'm going to play through Metal Gear Solid, the board game, by CMON Games. But I'm going to use my usual treadmill campaign rules, since this looks like it's going to be a treadmill campaign from what I'm seeing, where if we lose a scenario twice, I will end the gameplay at that point. And I'm going to try to let this go as much as I can. Excuse me, frog in my throat. And the reason I want to let it go as long as I can is because the side-by-side aspect is that I'm going to be replaying the classic Metal Gear Solid video game alongside of that. So, as I'll mention this before the start, spoilers will abound. This game is almost 30 years old, so if you haven't played it by now, well, you've been warned that there are spoilers in this one. So, we've also got codec conversation. I'm not going to go through absolutely everything as far as the setting the scene, but I will say that there are two stages to this game, or two different stages. There are sneaking stages and there are boss stages. We can go 1 to 4 players. If we have 1 player, we'll be using Solid Snake only. If there's 2, well, I'm not going to spoil the characters we're going to add there, but let's take our first look at Snake. So there are his actions. Some of the actions might be noisy. We'll have to be aware of that. I'll explain how everything else works. But let's go ahead and tell... So Snake's special abilities... Sneak attack. Once per round, after you deal damage to a target you are behind in the same row or column, you may deal +1 damage of the same type to them. And I work alone. Once per round, if there are no players within 2 spaces, you may plus or minus 1 to any die result when using a weapon. And then for his story, I retired to Alaska to leave the deceptions and lies in the past. Living legend and former Foxhound elite, Solid Snake was tasked to find Gray Fox, an agent who went missing in the rogue nation Outer Heaven. Written in his final transmission was a concern about a new weapon called Metal Gear. Eventually, Snake discovers that this was all a setup by his mission commander, Big Boss. He defeated Big Boss and destroyed Metal Gear. Several years later, Snake was called into duty once again as a crisis emerged on a forbidden base known as Zanzibar Island, where scientists were kidnapped to create a nuclear-powered weapon of mass destruction. In infiltrating the base, Snake discovers that the weapon was another Metal Gear, that Gray Fox had defected to join Zanzibar, and that it was led by none other than Big Boss. Snake was forced to defeat his former comrade, his former commander, and destroy Metal Gear yet again. We've got 4 actions. We won't need the focus tokens. Hopefully we won't need the alert token, but let's set the scene for this one, for this first mission. So we've got our Snake Mini up here. We've got three of the next generation soldiers. So basically we're kicking this off with the opening scenario. Snake's infiltration of the Shadow Moses facility as he's been inserted in. Mission 1 from the board game campaign, which will introduce the game's core mechanics while setting the tone for the rest of the series. We've got tight corridors, tight timing, and a tight grip as I try not to set the alarms off 5 minutes in. One other thing I will mention at the start of this is I don't expect to finish this campaign before my 2009-10 hockey season starts. Once we get the 2009-10 hockey season started, Metal Gear Mondays will take a hiatus. But it's not going to be the end. Once we get to the off-season, we'll pick this back up where we left off. And I will be enacting some of the voices for this one. So, let's go ahead and get started with this one. So, first up, we've got a conversation here between Snake and Colonel Roy Campbell. And yes, I am going to be trying to emulate the voices as much as I can. So let's see how I do with this. This is Snake. Colonel, can you hear me? Loud and clear. What's the situation, Snake? Looks like the elevator in the back is the only way up. Just as I expected. You'll have to take the elevator to the surface, but make sure nobody sees you. Alright, sneaking stage for 1 player. I think that's it we've got there. And this the way this manual is laid out is actually really nicely done on how it sets up the scenario. And really teaches you how to play the game. So I'm not going to go through absolutely everything there. But it'll end with, got it. Okay, I'm ready to go. And we are ready to go, so we'll try it once again. This is Snake. The mission starts now. And it does indeed. We've got 4 actions here. So we'll start off with the player phase first, where we can perform our actions. We can sneak 1 space, dash to move 2 spaces, but that makes noise. Hand-to-hand attack with an adjacent figure, depending on the die roll. Combo attack, where we can potentially do that as well. Focus, we have focus tokens, but we won't get those until the next scenario. Or until the next scenario. We can drag a body after we knock a guard out. An action to interact with a token on the board. Knock to draw attention. Or a silent takedown. Okay, so I think what I want to do here, and it might be a little bit hard to see as well, but each of the guards has an arrow facing on them, so they can face in that direction. This part is important for line of sight, because whichever direction a guard's facing, they can see all the way down to walls. So for instance, this guard right here can see all the way down to here. This guard can see all the way here. This guard is seeing only this space right now, but he's the one I think we have to be most careful of, because if he turns left, if he turns left and we're in a bad spot, he will be able to see us. So I definitely don't want to end there. The only question is, where do I want to end? That is a good question. On where I want to end. So we're already looking at a bit of a situation here, because I don't want to be seen by anybody right now. If I move up here, I run the risk of this guard moving 4, then turning and being able to see. Well, I forget if I can move. I think movement is only orthogonal. Yep, orthogonal, never diagonal. Okay, so the question is, do I even move right now, or do I just sit tight and see how their movement develops? I think we're actually going to move. I think what we are going to do is I'm going to move 1, 2. That's two sneaks that I've done. So we need 2 of those. And then do I want to move anywhere else? I think the answer to that is no, because like I said, we've got the problem here of this guard potentially moving 4 and turning to the right to see us. So I don't want to do that if I can avoid it. Yeah, I think that's where we'll forfeit the other 2 actions then. So now we flip over a guard order card. And we start from the top. So if there are 3 I believe those are the knockout tokens, right? Lost contact. For every 3 of those, we would reveal the top of the guard order card, reveal it, and place it at the bottom of the deck. This section's not relevant because there are no cameras on the board, and then this section depends on which tokens are on the board. Our alert token, which I'll show you this, that's our alert token. Each player has one. In this case, it's not on the board. That's our investigate token. That's not on the board either. So in this case, we are moving every guard 4 spaces, and they're potentially turning right. Let's see. That's determining guard mode. Okay, so they're just patrolling right now. And all the cases use the blue number. So that's where this token's going to come in. This is where this token's going to come into play. We set this up as part of the scenario to help us remind how the guards activate. So we're basically starting from the top left and moving to the bottom and moving down in a zigzag like so. So essentially we'll be moving So we'll be moving, we'll start here, move there, then down here, and move here. He will move, so he'll activate 1. If he's turning right, he turns until he finds a direction he can face, right? So the guard will move. Okay, the guard will move in the direction they're facing as far as they can. If they would move into an obstacle like a wall, or there are no more spaces in the direction they would move, the guard will find a new path. Okay, they need to find a new path when they would not be able to move by turning either left or right to face a direction. There are paths available to both the left and right. So this one, so he's turning left. Actually, would he turn around and go back right? That's not completely clear to me. Let me look. Do this by turning. If there are no paths to the left or right. Okay, so there is a path to the left, which means he turns here and moves 2, 3, 4. Fortunately, he can't see Snake right now because that's there. So he's done, which means we come here, he moves 1, 2, 3, 4. He's also turning right to find a new path. And then this guard is the last one to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turning right, which means now he can see all the way down there. That is not good for us at all. And it's making me want to sit tight on... It's making me want to sit tight and basically forfeit a turn, which I am not in love with that idea at all, but I don't think there's a choice in the matter. My ultimate goal, I should probably have mentioned this as well. My ultimate goal is to get up here and interact with that. So yeah, that's kind of problematic. Because we're up here, he can see all the way down, and I think... And I skipped over the noise roll, but we didn't make any noise, so no roll needed there. I think we do just sit tight for a turn here. And he didn't end on a... Oh, he did end on a turn. Did he end on... He ended on a turn with no movement. Guard, without gaining line of sight, he'll find a new path. Let's see, or end their movement there. He'll do this by turning either left or right to face a direction that has at least one occupied space. So it looks like he turns... Looks like he turns there, if I'm understanding that correctly. So that might be helpful, especially if he ends up up here. That would be a movement of 3, but I think we do have to sit tight here. I think we do have to sit tight just so we don't get seen by this guy, because that would be very bad. So we'll flip over a new guard order card. And the guard order deck is also acting as a timer. The scenario there is a game over card in the red section that could end the scenario on the spot. Let's see. Okay. So that would be a radio signal, which would bring a guard in if there were more out there. Right. Yes, guards report in. Guards count in each zone's barracks represents how many guards should be patrolling. In this case, it's a 3, so we're fine there. All right, nothing happening there. We're not on alert. We don't have an investigate. We're still in patrol mode, which means the guards are moving 4 spaces, turning left. 1, 2, 3, stepping there with movement remaining. Ignore the icon and don't rotate. So 4. Actually, let's do this right. So he moves first. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he would be trying to find a new path, but there's still spaces in this direction, so he will stay put. Then he will move 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, turn 4. And then since he's turning left, he's going to turn there. Then we're done with that. And unfortunately, we do have to sit tight again because he's going to move and end up seeing us. Because if we try to move up here, he's going to see it. He's going to see us. So I think we have to sit tight here for another turn. I haven't sleeved this game yet because I'm still kind of working through what I think of it, but I will end up at least sleeving these guard order cards well, I'll figure out what I need to sleeve from it, and I'm probably going to end up sleeving it at that point. Alright, guards, Guards are staying alert. Anybody within 2 spaces, that's a stay alert. All players within 2 spaces of guard without obstacles must place or move their investigate status under the without obstacles. So, let's see, how do we handle that with obstacles? I believe if there's water like this, because there is an obstacle between us, so I don't think we put our investigate marker out there, which is good for us. Then moving 2 spaces, turning right. So he'll move 1, 2, turning right. Then coming down, 1, 2, turning right. 1, 2, turning in there. Okay. Well, this is actually kind of helpful because now I can sneak 4. I can finally get movement in again and go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I managed not to be seen by any of them, which is very welcome. Let's see what our next guard order card is coming up. Guards check in, which is not a thing. Then cameras switches, but the cameras aren't on this map. We're not in alert mode. We're not in investigate mode, so we're still in patrol mode. Guards are moving 3, turning right. 1, 2, 3, still has a path here. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. He turns, but because of where we're at, because where Snake is at, this guard can't see Snake. So that's basically dodging a bullet here. Let's see. I think here we go 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to get in here, activate it, and then move into the elevator and interact with that when we don't have an alert or an investigate token on the map. So that was 4 more spaces to move up here. And I don't think anybody is in danger I don't think we're in danger of being seen by anybody. So let's see what our next move card is. Alright, guards would wakey wakey. Cameras won't change. No alert. We're not in investigate, so we're patrolling again. This guard moves 1, 2. Then he moves 2 and turning right. Right. So 1, he would be trying to turn here, but there's his guard in the way, so he just turns and he'll move there, finding a new path. And then this guy will leapfrog him. 1, 2. Okay, we kind of got away with 1 there. So we're going to move 1, 2, interact with this token, which will now put the elevator on the board, which will also bring a new guard into the scenario, which that'll go something like that, I think. Actually, the guard is here. So we've got a new guard, and I just realized I've got a big problem on my hands. Unfortunately, I am going to have to risk a dash here. So I'm going to move. So I'm going to sneak for 3, but then I'm going to dash for 4 to get back here. This way I don't get seen. So now I actually have to make a noise roll. So roll a die for each action token on my noise space. So I roll a die. As long as it doesn't come up with a 1, which as you can see is an exclamation mark, then we don't have to do anything. If that exclamation mark comes up, we have to put our investigate marker out, I believe. Just double checking here. Player draws attention to their current space. Which that still doesn't completely explain what we're trying to, how it ends up happening there. Roll check equal to, so it probably puts the alert down, which I hope it doesn't, but we'll find out. I'm still double checking that. I'm still double checking for the noise roll, so bear with me while I figure that out. Well, make noise. There's a guard. If any of them are rolled, player draws attention to their current zone, which I believe that would put out the... Okay, that does put the investigate token out. So we've got the dice tower and shot. Now let's hope we don't roll the 1. Whew! We just barely don't. We roll a 2. We might be able to set ourselves up to get out of the scenario this round. So let's see what we do here with the guards. Radio in, nothing happening there. Camera changes, but that's not relevant for this scenario, and we're still in investigate mode. So first we've got this guard moving 1, turn 2. Then he moves 1, 2. Then 1, 2, 1, 2, turns and ends movement. Okay, so I definitely can't make a mad dash for the elevator because he's going to see me. So I think what I do... Is there anybody in danger of seeing me? And is there anybody who could potentially end up seeing me? I think the answer to that is no. So I'm going to sneak back 1, 2, 3, 4. Or do I go 3 and forfeit 4? I think if I go there and I stay somewhat close to the elevator, I don't think anybody's going to see me from there. So yeah, I think that's a good move for the time being. We'll get our next guard order card out. Wakey wakey, but nothing happens there. Camera changes, nothing there. And then we're not in alert mode, we're not in investigate mode, so we're still in patrol mode. Everybody moving 5 and turning left. All right, starting with here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Confound it all. He just saw us. That doesn't change for each guard, though, does it? Determine guard mode. There's at least one in the active guard zone. Okay, so there is. That's a problem. So now everybody's coming straight for me. I was not expecting a move of 5 to come out. So now he's going to move, taking the shortest path. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably able to make an attack. Oh, that kind of went sideways. This is kind of going sideways on me. Let's see. Here we go. So we roll 2 black dice, and our defense is a 3. So we're dealing damage. So we're dealing damage equal to... So we roll 2 dice, and for each roll greater than our defense of 3, we take a damage. Yikes, that's 2 damage. So 2 damage to Snake. Then, so he was up here. He's going to move next. Let's see. Trying to move 5 spaces. So shortest path is 1, 2, 3. They would, logically, this guard would duck out of the way so the other one can attack. So we'll roll the attack. Excuse me. Well then, that was a short scenario. So we get the panicked Kodak call at this point. Snake, snake, snake! Because at this point that was, yeah. That's 4 damage and Snake has been defeated. That did not go well for us at all. But it's definitely very faithful, so far at least. So yeah, we have already failed the first stage. That is not great for us at all. But that'll do it for this first session of Metal Gear Solid on Metal Gear Mondays. And no kidding, Snake! I'm not doing a real good job of that. But yeah, this did not go well for us at all. That surprise 5 movement came out from the guard order deck. This guy ended up seeing me. Actually, he would have probably been able to make an attack as well. So just for giggles, let's roll an attack for this guard as well. Yeah, we would have taken an extra equal to or greater. Yep. So he would have done another damage to Snake. Yeah, that didn't work at all. And like I said, I was not banking on that 5 patrol move coming out of the guard order deck. But we'll hopefully try Metal Gear Mondays again. We'll try Metal Gear Monday again next week. But actually, we could probably reset this and no, actually, I've got a few things I've got to do yet tonight to get ready for tomorrow. So I think we're going to call it an episode of Metal Gear Monday here. Next week, we'll run back the insertion into Shadow Moses Island. Hopefully with a little better result than what we had here tonight. As for what else is coming up on the channel, Wednesday, we're going to be playing game number 12 on my War Room list this year, as we play Black Orchestra from Starling Games. Saturday, Mystical Munchies will continue out of the Star Wars Life Day cookbook as we make the side Roshir Bramble. And next week, Sunday, we're going to be finally doing our rescheduled playthrough of Ark Nova. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.